Alright, just to start with, you may want to drop your volume down a little bit because these live streams are louder now than they used to be. And I'll explain why in just a moment. But for now, we are going to sync, and I believe everything is looking good. It's been a while since I last did Demon's Souls, and I apologise for that. Actually, it's been 3 days apparently, maybe 4. So, anyway. It is a new day, a new build, and as you can see in the title of the video, hopefully, it is a Windmill Rapier build. Now, what does that mean? Basically, what I'm going to be doing is using the large sword of searching in the left hand and parrying with that using a Fatal Rapier. That is the plan for this build as far as what gameplay is going to be like. Why is it called Windmill? It's because when you move that, basically you have this sort of wrist twist, and you've probably seen it in the other Souls games as well. It exists in Demon's Souls. Now, because the large sword of searching is so large, yet is classified as a sort of light sword, it's called an Asian sword as far as weapon categories are concerned, but it's considered a lighter sword, so it has that particular parry movement. And what that results in is this giant sword just swinging all over the place in this circular motion, so it looks a bit like a windmill, so that's why it's called a Windmill Rapier build. There is no real benefit to having the large sword of searching as a parry weapon, apart from the aesthetic aspects to it. As far as it being aesthetically pleasing, perhaps not. It looks a bit ridiculous actually, but it's kind of funny, so that's why I'm doing it. Just, you know, a silly, weird build, something a little bit different. I don't know how many characters I can set here. I'd like to name myself Windmill-chan, which, just for the joke that it's the Japanese version, but anyway. No, I'm going to type Chan to start with. Can we go back, please? How do I go back again? Square. Something about that doesn't work in my head, you know. What's back? Square. It just... I don't know. I guess it makes sense, but it doesn't. So, we'll just name ourselves Windmill, just to start with. Hopefully that can fit in the character name selection. Now, as far as why the live stream is louder now than it used to be, it's because the amount by which I had to boost my microphone here to even get it to the volume that it was before was immense. But I thought, well, hey, especially when I started doing my Breath of the Wild videos, I thought, well, I really should try to get the audio levels as high as they would be during a normal recording, because I like to aim for like -6 dB sort of thing in terms of overall volume. The idea being that if you're in positive dB, you're peaking and you're getting distortion. So -6 is just before you're getting into the red sort of thing, and sometimes you go a little bit over, but you want to aim to be at that point. That's like the universal loudness level. So that's what I do for my other videos, and so this is the closest that I can get to that sort of level, if you understand. So yes, the first few videos will be rather quiet, I suppose, but it's not a big deal. It's not like they're too quiet. All it's about is having to go to the video itself and change the volume slider. That's the only negative aspect to the volume changes here, because they're not quite so intense. Like, for instance, it's not so low that you can't hear it no matter what you do with the volume slider. So I forgot that you could move this around. That's kind of crazy. But anyway, so Windmill, where is M? There it is. Windmill. Then, if I could possibly find L, you know, by using my eyes, that would be excellent. I don't know how much space we have, but we'll give it a try. Can I get a hyphen, please? Is that a thing that exists here? It should be. Windmill-chan. Excellent. So, of course, non-capitalization of Chan, because it's an honorific. You know, getting English grammar into Japanese grammar, as we know. Windmill-chan. You know what would be funny? If we had a if we had a male character, but we're not going to have a male character. We'll have a female character, and we're going to start as royalty. So I just need to find that class. Because I can't read Japanese, I need to actually look at what the visual appearance of each build character is. That's not royalty, obviously. Basically, royalty starts with a rapier. That's why I'm starting with royalty. That's the thief. Thief is alright. Also like I guess the veil that she's wearing there. This is royalty. You can see from the rapier here. But anyway, I remember that I said before, and I was being stupid, I said the Temple Knight was the lowest soul level class. It's absolutely not true. It's actually, it starts with the soul level of 4, so it's quite far from being that. But, what's the randomized option? This is it, isn't it? Yeah, here we go. We're just going to do this until we get something that's not horrendous, and then we might change the hair. Oh, dear lord. Maybe we'll give her that face, how about that? So, as far as hair, yeah, we'll make her look like that. As far as the colour of it, God, I don't know. Let's just keep it like this maybe, because I don't know where the colour options are. There we go, Windmill-chan. So, but anyway, so the Temple Knight, I just thought in my head, obviously thinking incorrectly, that the Temple Knight was indeed the low soul level class, but it's royalty. Kind of similar, I had it in my head that Temple Knights were, I guess, magical sort of classes. Same with royalty, because how royalty works is, do I want to play through the tutorial? No, I don't really need to, so it's giving me an option to skip, so I will say yes. It's not an option to play it, it's an option to skip, so basically whether or not you say yes or no does matter. What amazes me is that the Japanese version of this game has so much English text in it. For instance, it has yes or no written there for... Never mind. Hey, my memory of it was, would you like to skip the tutorial? Okay, that's what that text said. Obviously not. Could you maybe die? That's alright, gives us a little bit of a warm-up. It's somewhat of a waste of time, because the number of souls that we get here are really low. But anyway, as you can see here, we start with the Silver Catalyst and the Soul Arrow. Plus we have a super low soul level. And what that means is that we can get, you know, up to 5 upgrades for almost no souls. And that's why a super low soul level, as many of you will be aware, is actually quite useful. It's because you can put a certain number of points into a class, or into a skill I should say, and it will be much, much cheaper than with a high soul level class. Obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory I suppose, but it does coincide with what kind of build you want to make. For instance here, this has pretty decent starting dexterity, so I'm happy to go with this. But more than anything, it's starting with the rapier that I find to be quite useful, because otherwise, from memory, I would have to go to the once royal mistress in World 3.1 to buy the rapier from her. Now, it's not very expensive when I buy it from her, but the point is that, actually maybe I should be doing the critical style of play even now. Maybe we'll do that. Because this is designed to be a critical build after all. Could you maybe not? So maybe what I'll do, just for the sake of it, and it's going to take a little bit of a long time to kill all these enemies if I want to parry them all, but I think that's how we want to do it. So, do it with you as well. Now, what we'll do is actually equip a weapon to the left hand if we can. And the reason why I say if we can is because if we don't have a weapon to put there, obviously we can't, but I'd like to. No, we don't have a weapon, but that's alright. We'll probably pick one up at some point, which would be good. Alrighty. So, as far as the beverage for today, I had a session on this and wiped out the bottles, so there's no more of that left. However, because I'm a freak, I got a pretty nice Irish whiskey. It's alright. Guess what? It's called the Irishman. I mean, what a good name. What a good name. Seriously, I mean, who came up with that one? The Irishman. Okay. Anyway, so I'm only going to have one of these. I'm not going to have too much today. Because as I said, I recently had a session, so quite a session it was. Anyway, it's got a nice colour to it. Anyway, that's the Irishman. And please don't even for a moment think that I have a good Irish accent. I really do not. Anyway, I'm kind of annoyed that I'm wasting my time going through the tutorial here. It's really not what I wanted to be doing, but that's alright. So yeah, as far as what gameplay to expect, even starting out here, expect lots of parrying and backstabbing, because that's the idea of this build. If I'm going to be making a Fatal Rapier, which will require +3 with my Rapier, that means I'm going to be focusing very much on critical strikes, for the simple reason that if I don't use critical strikes, I will be at a strong disadvantage, because how Fatal works as a weapon upgrade is that you lose regular damage, just overall damage on your weapon, so that you have more critical damage. So therefore, if I make a Fatal Rapier, the Rapier already being a rather weak weapon, and then drop its damage even more, and then fail to make use of the additional critical damage, I'm really going to be crippling myself. So therefore, I'm just going to have this be a critical only build for lack of a better way to refer to it, so that's how we're going to do it. I say critical only, but it's not absolutely strict. It doesn't have to be all criticals and nothing else. For instance, I stabbed that guy back there normally, and that's going to be something that I'll do from time to time. So I should be able to parry and immediately go into an attack. It's because they get knocked back so far in this game, so I've been actually walking up to them and then doing the riposta. So it's probably not necessary though. I prefer a smoother parry, really. So because we do have Soul Arrow, we're going to try and kill our friend the Vanguard. We'll see how it works. I don't know what to expect, but anyway. Now, the Vanguard himself, as I've mentioned, does not give you that many souls. It's alright to start the game with those sorts of souls. By that I mean go into World 1-1. But it's not really that useful. It doesn't bother me that much. I mean, of course, the entire point is to die. I'm aware of this, but the thing is that it's very annoying when you do intend to kill him, and then you die on the first hit. It's like, okay, nice one. Oh god, I've got some business going on over here. Let's fix that. There we go. By business, I mean, you know, the green screen not being fully in shot. Good thing I noticed that, because that kind of shit annoys me a lot. But anyway, now we are dead, and now we can go right ahead and take on the actual game itself, not the stupid tutorial. I'll remember that. I thought it was a question as to whether or not I wanted to skip it, not whether or not I wanted to do it, so good to know. Now, is there anything that we need to do before we go? I don't think so. I'm tempted to buy a weapon, because I don't really want to use a shield here, but you know, if I could actually go to buy, so it's upgrade, repair, buy. Please go to buy. You know this, Toonlink, stop being stupid. So, whatever. What we'll do is we'll just pick up some random weapon in this area, and that'll do it for us. Going to open YouTube to see what's happening over there. Nothing's happening over there. That's alright. Moving on. Yes, yes, come on. Maybe the first time you load in it takes a little bit longer, I don't know. You'd think I would know this by now, but I guess I'm just not the most observant person. Now, let's have a look. It's neutral tendencies across all archstones, which kind of bothers me. But whatever, we'll just have to deal with that, I guess. At least they're not too particularly dark, but yeah, high. You know, I really need to get in the habit. It's just because they get thrown back so far, I just don't think to do like an instant riposta, but we'll... You're annoying me, mate. The problem with these guys is that they flail around a lot. And so, it's difficult to really get the attack that's going to be parried, so... Or at least pinpoint that. Just trying to break this. Yep, that works perfectly fine, actually. In terms of instant riposta. Oh, that didn't work. See? I suppose parrying is an example of something that was definitely improved heavily in Dark Souls, and I felt that way about backstabs for sure, but parries, now I'm really starting to appreciate that. I probably did learn that. I probably did learn that, in fact, Dark Souls was very good with parries versus this game, but I had since forgotten, but god yes, really starting to see that now. So once again, I'd like to have a weapon instead of a shield here, but just to really hit home what the build is about, and just get started immediately with that kind of playstyle. But anyway, it's not very Windmill-like when you've got a small weapon doing the parrying, but whatever. Can you stop? Arsehole. Look, for the most part we can do instant ripostas. It's fine. I don't think we have too many issues doing that. We had the one example before where it didn't really work so well, but I guess it just happens from time to time. So we don't need Half Moon right now. I'm actually going to take that off because there's no need for Half Moon at this point in the game. Everything is doing so little damage to us, so... See, look how much we heal with Crescent Moon. That's quite impressive, so therefore, I'm not going to bother with that. Can you not? I mean, seriously, do you think that you are the one who needs to be targeted right now? I would strongly disagree with that. You fucking asshole. I do like this attack, it's like the finesse of the animations, or the movements. It's quite attractive. I don't like you, because I can't parry you. Imagine if he went melee with his crossbow and I could parry that. Now that would be good. I'd be absolutely down for that. Yeah, well, I'm not even going to bother parrying you. I don't have the time. Alright, just relax. Just everyone calm down, please. Dying in World 1-1 is not acceptable, so it's not going to be happening, to put it simply. As you can see, pure parry? No, not really. Just focusing heavily on criticals. Some backstabs, some parries. Come on, mate. As you can see, I suppose in a way Dark Souls didn't just make backstabbing smoother in terms of the animation, they also made it easier to achieve the backstab. So, I think that much is obvious. Oh, can you not? These guys are annoying. That was a partial parry, in the sense that it more or less blocked the attack, but it didn't actually get the parry off. Which is a sign that I suck. Oh god. See, it's very annoying when you have two side by side, obviously. Backstab you. I completely backstabbed the wrong one. Anyway. I mean, I was targeting one, I was right behind one, but I backstabbed the other one. It's like, okay. Yeah, this game is a bit funny with critical attacks. Hey, I'm not going to critical strike you at that point. Like one thrust away from death. Alright. You're dead. So at this point I need to be wary of firebombs. I do not need to get a firebomb in the face and die. Thank you very much. That would be somewhat concerning. More than somewhat, actually. It would be phenomenally concerning. Because that would probably result in high risk of death. So for instance, if I got hit with a firebomb after getting double struck by that guy, that very well could have been a death. This is probably one of the most difficult parts of World 1-1, where I'm going through right now. Simply because of the firebombs. To word it differently, this is the point where you're really challenged, if you are challenged at all in this area. It's not a difficult area, that's not the point that I'm making. I'm just saying that as far as a challenge being present, that's probably it, because you have firebombs being thrown at you from a distance while getting attacked by flaming weapons. And so the amount of health that you lose if you allow yourself to get hit in those situations is not ideal. There's an example once again of him getting knocked back too far for me to riposta, but I have a feeling that what contributed to that was the uphill. And I think we all know that trying to parry someone who is higher than you never really works out so well. I mean, parrying's alright, but in terms of riposta, that's really not quite ideal. You're annoying. Just attack, that's all I want from you, mate. And don't do the big lead-up strike, that's harder for me to parry. And then he throws a firebomb at point-blank range. You're just dying, that's it. I'm done with you, mate. Anyway. Bastard Sword is down there. I could possibly upgrade the Bastard Sword for the large sword of searching. I need to actually... No, I think I can use... Well, not can use, but I think I must use dexterity scaling weapons. For instance, I'll be picking up a scimitar later on in this level, so perhaps that is what I will use to get to +8 so that I can make the large sword of searching. It does annoy me a little bit that I have to make the large sword of searching, but that's alright, for the simple reason that this rapier here only needs to go to +3, so I'm not going to need to use much sharpstone to do that. So I can pretty much reserve most of my sharpstone for whatever weapon that I want to upgrade to +8 for the large sword of searching. I don't need to rely on it heavily for 2 weapons, you see, because at that point I would be struggling with materials, I would say. The ideal situation, at least in the early game, going up to halfway, maybe even 2/3 of the way through the game, it's good to be upgrading through 2 different paths of stone, for the simple reason that the amount of stone that you get is really best utilized for a single weapon, not 2, because then you'll just not really be able to upgrade either of them very much at all. Oh, for God's sake, Doomlink, get your head in gear. Anyway. I'm a little bit hungry, actually. Fun fact, do you want a Doomlink update? I'm hungry. No, but really. Getting a few frame drops there, but that's alright. May as well pick up these items over here. Or this single item, actually. We may as well get the jade hair ornament. There's no real reason why we can't. Oh, this has already been broken. By who? The guy was obviously a bit pissed off and decided to break the barrels without me even being there. I guess things happen when you're not around that you don't really know about. Like very, very angry dreglings doing things out of character. Well, not necessarily out of character, but imagine that it's like a movie set. And you need to, you know, action needs to occur. Like, you know, action, and then the snapping thing. What's that called again? Like the snapboard. Basically, he did it before the cameras were rolling. If we want to continue using that analogy, which is probably far beyond your understanding, because my analogies are quite bizarre, I have to say. Very convoluted and illogical. Can you maybe not, mate? Thank you. Or not. See, I'm not sure what's going on with that backstab business, but whatever. I'm doing my best, everyone. I'm doing my best. I hope I didn't knock the boom stand too much there. So as far as this Irish whiskey, it's quite different to the previous one that I was drinking. This one is super smooth, and I really quite like it. As far as speak English, Doomlink, as far as Irish whiskey is concerned, I don't drink it quite so much because, as you may be aware, Scotch is a bit more widely known and consumed as opposed to Irish whiskey. Most people will have Scotch because that's what they're familiar with, that's what they're exposed to. So what that means is that as far as what's being stocked in your local liquor store, Irish whiskey is not quite so commonly found. At least good Irish whiskey is what I should be saying, because it just really depends on the actual place. That's alright. So we've we've unlocked the shortcut, which was for the cling ring, and we may as well go and get the jade hair ornament as well. Why the hell not? I'm not impressed. I'm really not. But that's alright, because that was probably my own fault, really. My own poor play. No, I didn't really want the ragged set. Or the raggedy set. I don't know why they say raggedy. I don't even know if raggedy is really a word. It probably is, but I've never really heard it in an official context, if you understand what I mean. This sounds a little bit colloquial, but I'm not doing parries right now for the purpose of saving time, because do you really want me to individually parry or backstab every single one of these enemies? Fun fact, I'm not going to do it. So, I'm sorry if I'm not operating according to your desires, but yeah, no. So, we're picking up a lot of Crescent Moon here, and once again, we're going to stick to Crescent Moon. I do not want to deal with you guys right now. But hey, it's probably still going to be faster than going all the way back around the other way. So we'll probably do that. Okay, so I'm just going to go normal melee with these guys here. Once again, for the sake of speed. Just poking them all. That's the cheesy way to use a rapier. Of course, as far as spears and rapiers are concerned, I would say rapiers are actually generally more fun than spears. You have to get a little bit closer to the enemy, so it's a little bit more risky, in a sense. But with a spear, you can poke and just stand like really far away. You just get a winged spear and just do that business. You can get the... Oh, no. Please, for the love of Christ, no. Oh, fuck me dead. How many souls did I lose? I don't even know. You guys can't see because my head's in the way. But, god damn it. What the fuck possessed me to roll at that point? I wish I knew. Dying twice in World 1-1. He's so good at this game. Fuck's sake. Anyway. No, but really, that's... The level of frustration that I am experiencing right now is, if rateable, a 9 out of 10, which is, you know, quite high. You might say, wow, Doomlink, that's a lot. Well, yeah, it is. At this point, I don't give a fuck, so fuck every single one of you. I'm getting out of here. Screw you guys, I'm going home. To quote a certain fat child. But anyway, so... Definitely, I should have done this in the first place. But, the purpose behind me doing that was that I thought, hey, I'd be able to accumulate some souls, why the hell not? And then I just lost a bunch of souls in the process of doing that, so great. Whatever. Hello, Mr. Blue-Eyed Knight, you're about to die. There we go. That was a partial parry, but I succeeded in the parry, despite getting hit through that, so that's alright. Partial parry that resulted in a parry. I suppose there are partial parries that result in parries and that don't result in parries. One will be you getting hit, and one will be not getting hit and not achieving the parry. Anyway, point is it probably has to do with whether you're too early or too late. That's probably the variable there. We will equip the Thief's Ring, life will be easier. Oh, this is the... Jesus, is that... What is that? I don't know what that is. Anyway, so what we'll probably do is unequip that, put on the Thief's Ring and the Cling Ring. In fact, had I put the Cling Ring on, maybe I would have survived last time. But you see, I'm stupid, so don't worry about it. Excuse me. So, only because I have all of these enemies here, I'm not going to be doing the critical strike bullshit because it's just not doable. I'll do it with this guy, but... Or not. Can't do it. No, I really can't do it. Can you... Oh, no. Not really what I wanted. Let's just get out of there, maybe. Maybe, baby. What's this again? Just a soul. That's alright. We do have the... What are you doing? You can't get up there, man. Is he... I've never seen that before. He's really wanting to attack Ostrava. That's hilarious. You are not safe over there. I will walk into this wall and attack you. This is great. I've never seen this before. I don't know why I've never seen it, but it's really funny. Anyway, oh, you're still alive. Ostrava, you are not doing anything except for sidestepping the guy, so maybe just stop. Thanks for the brass telescope. Anyway, what do you have to say for yourself? Can you maybe just... He's not interested in me at all. He just wants Ostrava. Maybe he has orders to kill Ostrava, I don't know. Anyway. I don't know how it works. So we're about to come up against this guy. I think all the enemies from here came out and attacked us. Because they hang out in here and they go out into there. But this guy with the Claymore Blue-Eyed Knight. Ooh, not quite what I wanted. That's not good. I do not need to get comboed by you, mate. It's just dodgy to parry him, because if you fail the parry, what ends up happening? And I want to backstab. Shut up. What on earth are you doing? It's like, all I'm doing is trying to fight this guy. And you're in the bloody way, doing close to nothing. So just relax. If you get hit, then just shut up. So the scimitar is over here. And we're going to pick that up and use that as our parry weapon. The only benefit to this, once again, is aesthetics. Because as you can see this here, see this movement? Now imagine if a super long sword was doing this. That's what I mean by windmill. We've got a little windmill here, but that's alright. That's what the windmill build is about. Just die. But yeah, it's just something a little bit different, you know, using a weapon to parry. It's just a little bit of fun. And the large sword of searching will be used to do that because it looks kind of funny, so yeah, it's as simple as that. The background noise that you're hearing right now is cicadas, and I wish I could do something about them, but I cannot. It is the summer. Unless you want me to sit in some sort of soundproof box, I really cannot do anything about it. I do have all of my windows shut, so basically what I can offer you as far as wisdom is concerned is that if I had my windows open, it would be deafening. So just be glad it's not deafening, put it that way. Alrighty. This is the first time in a long time Ostrava has actually taken the time to help me out down here. He usually does not. His AI is all kinds of fucked. So I'm guessing his AI is supposed to help me down here. It's just generally he does not. Can you make it back up there? Yes, you can. Yeah, his AI is really not good. But anyway, it's a game from 2009, what can I say? Generally speaking, I would say that for a game that came out in 2009, it's pretty freaking good. And most will agree with that, but Ostrava's AI is a good example of something that has not aged well at all. Even back when it came out, I was thinking, what the fuck are you doing, mate? But, yeah, I didn't really have a problem with it, because I understood, hey, it's AI, so all good. Love those frame drops also. Come on, just... God, I can barely see what I'm doing because of these frame drops. It's truly awful. Come on. You know, attacking with the weapon is almost as good as shielding because it puts them in a position where they can't attack you because they're flinched. So, it actually effectively has a similar benefit. Oh god, just get out of my face. Alright. Oh, you're still here. Hello. Stop flailing. I'm gonna hit you like that. That is good. I do like it. Oh, you just dropped down. Welcome. Welcome to the battleground. Look how cool that is. It looked like my hand glitched out, and the scimitar sort of bounced around a little bit after that. Like after the fact of me doing the animation, it seemed to bounce. I suck. Something about the timing. Animation cancelling, everyone. Yeah, these are the serious strats right here. Animation cancelling a riposta. Beautiful. And can you maybe stop? That's a cool combo. That jump strike. Let's do that again. That looks cool. Anyway, so you are going to die, FYI. Do you see how the sword sort of bounces around in my hand after I do that and go into an immediate riposta? Because I see that. I don't know if you guys see that. Yeah, get out of my face. Yeah, no, but really, I'm not going to go and fight that guy. It'll take him too long to get back up here, and by the time I'm at this point, the Thief's Ring will be kicking in. No, don't run towards it. God, I actually wanted to turn back. But clearly the controller was not being very, what's the word? Cooperative. Let's pick up some Crescent Moon grass, why not? Now I do apologise for those who prefer to be able to read what's on the screen, because this is the Japanese version, but hey, this is a way for me to continue enjoying the game because it's just different for everything to be in Japanese for me, so... Anyway. Please, no. You see, this is the problem when I have to fight two of you. It's because both of you have your own thing. Alright, come on. No. Yeah. Balls. On a scale of 1 to balls, this is balls. You know what? Do you know what? This is not continuing any further. You're all going to die. You will die the death. And I can't believe I'm out of Crescent. That's just sad. That's really, really sad, actually. I never run out of Crescent in this area, and yet here I am. Let's go. Thank you! Fuck! The guy actually attacked me. At a time when the other guy wasn't attacking me. God, they do not telegraph that at all. It's so difficult to work out when to parry. God, they suck. It's alright if you can shield it, but I'm not shielding, so... There we go. I almost want to call that a partial parry, but that situation resulted in... I don't know. I guess it was just on the edge of being a full parry and it worked, so cool. Yes, I can cast magic, but that's not what this build is for. So, excuse me for not doing that. Alright, dragon time. Dragon's gonna do all the work for me, which I'm down with. Alright, backstab time then. Dragon, where art thou? Oh! I was gonna say, dragon, where art thou? And there you are. About to breathe fire on my face. Alrighty, let's go for a run. And hopefully not get caught in his fire, because if I get caught in his fire, I am all sorts of fucked. I didn't get caught in his fire. But I heard someone get caught in it. Alright, let's go kill these guys so they don't try to pursue me, because that would be annoying. You know, even in the first level, it takes 3 strikes with this frickin' weapon to kill these guys normally, so as you can see, going critical only is going to be pretty important. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to do anything, really. Anyway, I wouldn't mind some more defense so that I can tank some hits, but I do want to be fast rolling as well. Oh, come on, that was a bloody parry. I don't care what you say. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can watch for that, but if I parry with this sword, and then immediately go into a riposta, it causes this scimitar to sort of bounce around in my hand. It's like a weird graphical glitch. At least that's how I interpret it. Can you literally fuck off? I actually need to equip Half Moon Grass in World 1-1 and use it, which is just wow. Anyway, there's not much I can do. Obviously my play could stand to improve, but anyway. Oh god, the lack of telegraphing is really, really making it hard. Do you see this? Do you see what I mean? Like, there's just no indication that he's going to attack me. You're a fucking dog. You see, what you would normally do is shield the first one, parry the second. But I have to actually parry the first one, because I'm getting... Okay. No, but really, you're pissing me off. Do that again, please. See, the thing is, what you need to understand is that I am pressing the parry button at the same time he attacks me, but it's too fast, you see. There we go. Fuck me dead. Ugh. Not pleasant. Come on. Now, that's not quite what I want. You know what firebombs are for, my friend? It's for ranged combat. That was not ranged combat. I was basically kissing you, okay? Okay? Now, if I'm standing nose to nose with you, what that generally means is that that's not ranged combat, so maybe put your firebombs away, you moron. Anyway, you guys are just going to die normally because I don't have the time for 2 of you. Come on. God, I'm hungry. Just to, you know, the Doomlink update returns. This time with Doomlink. He is very hungry. Yes. Anyway. This time with Doomlink. See how it is to play Demon Souls while very hungry. Anyway. Imagine if I talked like that the whole time. That would be annoying. That would piss me off. Now we're gonna kill this thing. Yeah. Oh god, that pisses me off. Anyway. It fucks up my voice trying to talk like that anyway. I'm not Morgan Freeman. Well, he doesn't really talk like that anyway. Alright, these guys are still alive, but that's alright. How am I going to fight this boss? I guess I'll turpentine and firebomb as normal. You know what, fuck these guys. That's what I've decided. Excuse the frame drops, by the way. Turpentine, firebombs. So we're going to throw all 11 of these firebombs. Jesus, what the fuck? I'm not going to use magic. Look, I don't even think I'm going to. I'm going to act as if I don't have magic right now, because I just don't want to use that for the build. Can you? Alright. He still managed to get some splash damage there. I think what gets me with firebombs is that it's such a small, fiery explosion, and yet the splash damage is huge. You know, if I could go two-handed and... Alright, let's continue firebombing. No. What I want is splash damage. There we go. Beauty. You bloody beauty, mate. There we go. And we're hitting the phalanx as well, that's what we want. So, yes, it will be necessary to turpentine by the looks of it. Let's do it now. Alright, I'm gonna go two-handed, run in here, and do some work. Hopefully not getting hit by these guys, which I probably will, momentarily. I need to try and kill the phalanx as soon as possible for the simple reason that otherwise he's going to get healed by his little friends. So, here we go. The demon was destroyed. Thank you. Let's double check to see if anyone dropped anything. Are you telling me that in this entire confrontation, not a single one of these small enemies dropped a stone? That's insane. Normally at least one will drop. At least one. Sometimes as many as 5 or more. But that was just nothing. I'm not at all impressed with that. Oh, shut up, cicadas. You know, I hate summer for a number of reasons. One of them is the fucking cicadas, and the other one is the heat. But the cicadas are absolutely massive contributors as to why I hate the summer. They're just so noisy, it's like, shut up! Shut up! Anyway. So, aside from that, we currently have 4,928 souls. Pretty good when you're leveling up from soul level 1. So what we'll do is we'll actually consume these souls here. And we'll equip them here to make it a little bit faster to consume them. Now, the last one we had there was the lead demon soul. And we make the scraping spear with that. And to be honest, I'm just not interested in making the scraping spear here. I would only do that for a dexterity build, and to be honest, it doesn't have that much damage either, even with a proper dexterity build. It ends up having like 200 to 250, which is like... It's not very good at all. Yeah. Sorry, actually, I needed to talk to you because I want to give you the jade hair ornament. Blah, blah, blah. Just need to look for when his text is repeating, which is at this point. Then we talk to him again, answer yes to his question, which gives him the jade hair ornament, and then he gives us something that he found on the side of the road, which just happens to be very, very useful for us. So we will not equip it now, but we will make use of it soon. Now, what is this doing? Maybe it's increasing our miracle damage, maybe? I actually don't know. I'm happy that I can name my character Windmill Chan. Like, I actually have enough characters in my character name. Get it? To actually have that name. Characters in your character name. Fuck me dead. Anyway, before we level up, we of course have to go and talk to the Monumental. So we'll go and do that now. How long have I been streaming for? 44 minutes? We have a while to go yet. I'm probably going to pass out from hunger by the time I get to 2 hours. Do I want to do for 2 hours? I might stop at 12, like midday my time, because I do have to work today. So what I'll probably do is not stream for a very long time. If you can forgive me. Maybe we'll do like an hour and 40 minutes or something. Hour and 40, hour and 50. That should do, to be honest. Yes.
In the distant past.
It has been a long time since I've watched this, so I might actually watch it for a change.
owing to the soul
It's
arc
ultra widescreen.
until a
Or maybe it's
lustful
just normal
power
widescreen.
caused the awakening of the old one.
It has actually been
Across
so
the
long
land
since I've watched
floated
it.
a colourless deep fog,
Because I just always skip it.
and the world faced extinction at the hands of the demons.
Okay.
Thanks be, we were able to lull the old one,
Do we get any exciting animations?
yet only after the loss of
I think I'm
innumerable
starting to
souls
understand why I always skip this.
and half the world lost.
Look, the artwork's
erased
nice,
by
but
the fog.
you see the artwork once and you don't really
In
need to see it
order
again.
mend the fabric of what land
Oh, there we go.
still remained, we entrusted 6 elders with 6 precious
See, the one on the
archstones.
far side there
One,
is the Archstone of the
king
Giants.
of a small yet diligent land.
It's the one that's
One,
broken in the
the
Nexus.
king of the burrowers underground. One to the wise queen of the great ivory tower. One to the chieftain of lost and ill-fortuned
I can't
souls.
fucking hear what she's saying, that's half the problem.
One
Because my TV's really low, you see, I don't want to have
the
any
tempest
spill.
worshipping shadow men,
That's creepy. That's
and
really
last,
creepy.
to the great giants of the northern lands. The
I couldn't hear what
archstones were
she said about the
placed at nodes
giants.
across the earth. We contained the old one.
Maybe they call it
inside
something
these
different,
nexuses
but I know it's the land of the
and
giants that
banned
it
the soul
takes you to.
arc.
It's just they cut it from the game. Anyway, that was very fun.
Now have you? Yeah.
Yes. Alrighty, now we can level up, because we have talked to the Monumental, and now the Lady in Black will allow us to level up with her. Or in the terms of this game, seek soul power. We're going to get powerful souls with her, or our soul will become more powerful with her. Anyway, we will head back down, shortcut rolls, speedrun strats. Thank me later for teaching you them. Anyway, so yes, blue eye and white eye stone. And then I will say yes to seeking soul power. And now we have to decide what we want to level up. As far as strength requirements, we don't need to worry about any strength requirements with the large sword of searching. It will be a 24 strength requirement, which is something that I'm not going to commit to at all. That would just be a waste of my time and a waste of my soul allocations, because I don't intend to actually use the weapon to attack people. I could, but this is the Windmill Rapier build. It's you know, it's just a windmill, not an attacking weapon, just a windmill and nothing else. So, yeah. I'm not going to have more today. Not today. Anyway, so I think Vitality to start with, we'll get that to 10. Keeping in mind that we have a lot of level ups available to us right now, given that we start at Soul level 1. We're going to keep Strength at 9, because there are 2 weapons that I'm going to be using in this build, okay? You've got the Rapier, and you've got the Large Sword of Searching, and the Rapier is the only thing that I actually need to use as an attacking weapon, so therefore, if this works for the Rapier as it is now, we're going to keep it like this. In terms of getting increased damage, that will obviously be through Dexterity, so that's going to be our focus for this build. In terms of Endurance, that would have to do with equip load. So for instance, if I wanted a heavier armor set, like how I got myself a heavier armor set for the pure bow build, I started off with a very light set, and then I got the Ring of Great Strength and used the Gloom set after leveling up Endurance to 30, I think, for the pure bow build. So I could do something similar in this build if I wanted to. And to be honest, it's so not necessary for me to do that in my pure bow build, but it's a lot more necessary to do it here, because I'll be taking a few hits. It depends on the enemy that I'm fighting, but for instance, with this particular style of play, you want to be parrying the very first attack that the enemy is dealing to you. Otherwise you just get hit and you get flinched and it becomes a mess at that point. But if you're able to parry the first attack, then you're fine. But obviously certain enemies don't really telegraph that first attack very well, like those bastards with the spears, so being able to tank hits is actually quite useful. But I do still want to be able to fast roll. That's not, you know, having a slow rolling build is not on the table at this point. It's definitely not happening. So what we will do is... God, I'm hungry. Doomlink is still hungry. Update. But, yeah, so we're not going to be touching Faith. That's Faith, isn't it? No, that's Faith. That's Magic. That's Intelligence. Okay. Use your brain, Doomlink. It's always like this when I want to level up. I just don't know what to level up, and I always agonize over it. Let's take you to 10 as well. I just don't like having under 10 with that stuff. We'll take you to 15. And I think health we will focus on. Maybe instead of having high defense, we'll have this be a high vitality build. Maybe that's how that'll work. That makes sense to me. So maybe we'll keep with a light armor set, but then just have lots of health to be able to tank more hits instead of increasing our defense. Sounds good to me. So, I suppose we're going to World 1-2 now. Unless... Well, let's level up this weapon once. Let's do that. Not the scimitar, God. Get the rapier to +1. Once again, we need to get it to +3 before we can actually infuse it with Marrowstone. That's what it is, yes. And Marrowstone is acquired through enemies in World 5. So what that means is that we'll be going through World 5 relatively early on. So that is something we will do for sure. But for now, let's just go through the early game. We'll just sort that out in this particular recording. We'll go through World 1-2. Is there anything I want to do? Don't think so. I think we're alright. I don't know what the... Oh, it gives me more MP. I can see MP in the description, so there we go. I've just answered the question. It gives me more... Gives me more MP. So let's take it off and see what it is after that. Isn't it the same? It's the fucking same. So obviously it doesn't have to do with that. It wouldn't reduce the MP cost of casting spells, because that doesn't exist as a ring in this game, as far as an effect is concerned. Let's just keep it on, who cares? I think it's time to go through World 1-2, let's do it. Taking on the Tower Knight might be interesting, but whatever. As far as what to expect when it comes to other Souls games, I will be doing Dark Souls builds like the original Dark Souls sometime this year. I don't know when, but I will be. It's not going to be until I have done a lot more of Demon Souls that I'm going to touch the other Souls games, but I will start with Demon Souls, basically. No, I will start with Dark Souls, the original one. And what that means is that I will not be doing the remaster, I will be playing the original PC version. With some mods, maybe. If I can get the frame mod working again. Because you see, when I was using the original game, or playing the original game, I had frames at 60 FPS, but at some point that just stopped working completely. And so, if I can get that working again, it would be great. If I can't, then it's alright, because this is at 30 frames per second. And this isn't too bad, is it? So, I could play, or I could stream Dark Souls at 30 FPS as well. So, yeah, why the hell not? I guess I should kill these guys to get some more materials. They're technically optional, but getting more materials is definitely good, so maybe let's do that. I want to roll behind you, come on! Right, let's break this, come on, break that. And we're in a position here where we're actually behind this guy. You can attack him from the front, but I'm going to attack him from behind. What's this? Oh, throwing knives. So, we have 2 sharpstone in our inventory at the moment. If we do end up having too much stuff in our inventory weighing us down, obviously we can go ahead and equip the Ring of Herculean Strength. That's what it's for. I'm going to be dodgy and risky by just running to start with here, which was a terrible idea because I did not manage my stamina before doing that. So yeah, that's what happened. Had I managed my stamina correctly, we would have gotten through that without problems, because we are running very fast here, and if we started running and didn't stop, we would have made it, but I had to stop because I ran out of stamina, so that's how it is. I don't like you. Especially when I have to fight you on the stairs. Can you hit me? Look at this guy. I have parried him and killed him before you've even attacked me once with your shitty weapon. Show me your back, thank you. I hate these guys. I really do. The dislike I feel is very strong. I have to attack these guys normally once again. That's alright. That's how it goes. That's a wooden catalyst. I may as well equip it, in case for some bizarre reason I need to use magic, which I might, you never know, there might be a situation where it's necessary. And in that situation I may as well be doing more damage, because the wooden catalyst does more damage with spells, has more magic adjust if you want to call it that, than the silver catalyst. Which is contrary to what you might expect. Wooden catalyst sounds like a cheaper version of the silver catalyst, but actually, when it comes to magic casting, it's better to have some old piece of wood. So yeah, that's how that works. We'll roll away from this, or roll through that, get away from these guys, then fight them. Targeting does help with a very centralized attacking location weapon. So what I mean by that is that where you're attacking is extremely narrow. You've got a very narrow area of effect when it comes to this weapon. So targeting does definitely help. God. Roll strikes are so fast with this weapon. Holy shit. Like, did you see that? Let's do that again. Look at that. That is a bloody beauty, mate. So what is that? Was that a ring of gas resistance? It might have been. Maybe it was toxin resist? I don't know. Anyway. Or maybe not toxin. Toxin doesn't exist in this game. It's poison, bleed, and plague. So plague is, I guess, the toxin of this game. But obviously plague is a lot worse. They didn't bring plague in any of the games. Well, they didn't bring it back in any of the other games, I don't think. I never saw it in Dark Souls 3, which is the game where I would expect to see it be returned if it were returned. But yeah. I guess if there's no Widow's Lotus, then it's not back. Because they kept Soldier's Lotuses and Royal Lotuses, didn't they? No, they had moss. I'm stupid. They had moss. It's been a while. Yeah, definitely Soldiers and Royal Lotuses are from this game, as well as Widow's Lotus. Royal Lotus is for poison, Soldier's Lotus is for bleed reduction, and then Widow's Lotus is for plague. But you don't get plagued very much at all while playing this game, so the number of Widow's Lotuses that you get, which is a small number, actually ends up being enough. Come on, dragon. Come, dragon. Alright, let's pick up this item. This is important. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. Very nice. So I'll manually kill you guys. I'm going to go two-handed for this just to speed it up. God, the range of this thing is quite bad. I mean, who would have thought, but really, it's not ideal. Alright, let's parry you. See how he telegraphs that a lot? Makes parrying the first strike a lot easier, but those guys with the spears and the shields, not quite so much. Definitely not. I double check YouTube, I've been neglecting it quite a lot. We'll see if anyone's watching. No, doesn't seem like it. Actually, there is one. There is one person watching, because if it says one watching and I'm not opening the YouTube page, then obviously that means I do have a watcher. Because usually how I look at it is that if I've got two, that means I have one, because I would be one of those people. But if I don't have it open, then that means that I do have one viewer on YouTube. So hello, viewer on YouTube, I will open the page for you. Or just, you know, in case you're talking to me. Then I'll be able to actually read the chat for you. Anyway. So just up the top here is another Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. We'll go and pick that up and then we will take on the boss. As far as what I want to do for the rest of the video, well, maybe I'll end it at that. Possibly. Maybe. We could just have a shorter stream today. We've been recording for 1 hour so far, so it'll probably end up being like 1 hour and 20 minutes if I choose to end after this. Some royal lotuses there. Royal lotuses are pink, soldier's lotuses are purple or violet, and widow's lotuses are white, as you'd expect of a flower called widow's lotus, because white seems to be the theme when it comes to death. It should be black, but it's just the idea is if you go to a funeral you would never wear black, so the whole white flower, white rose sort of thing. No. Not what I wanted really. Well, let's kill you, hold on. I'm at risk here because this guy is going to do the hat, which is a bit scary, but anyway. I just need to kill all of these guys because otherwise they're going to make fighting the Tower Knight a bit of a nightmare. As long as you die before you fall down, I'm okay. You are really pissing me off. Anyway. I think there's some late moon grass up here. Yep. 3 late moon. And this guy's going to fall down as well. Oh, never mind. He did fall down, but he died, fortunately. That's one good thing. It's working out rather well. Beauty. Get away from that. I said get away from that, and somehow I managed to do that. Really did look like that was going to hit me. That guy followed me all the way from that side to over here. Alright, let's hit the feet. That's not really what I wanted. I want to actually attack the feet, not do fancy shit and end up being out of range. Yeah, just be aware of him jumping back like that. More fancy shit. Stop with the fancy shit, please. It doesn't achieve anything. At least not in this fight. This fight's going to take a while. Do I have Turpentine equipped? I'm going to get Turpentine equipped because that's going to speed this up, I think. Like, really speed this up. Which is necessary. He has good range with that spear, but not that good range. There we go. Good timing on the roll. I'm going to save the Turpentine for when I am able to hit his head. And I do not want his head to be in the wall. So if he could turn away from that wall, that would be phenomenal. There we go. That should turn him away. That's good, actually. There we go. Oh, shit! So now I have to cast Turpentine, and I've also had that shit happen. That's absolute arse. Absolute arse. Well, we should be able to knock him down faster with Turpentine anyway, so we'll look at it that way for now. Here we go. Alright, well that turned out alright. Let's say alright a few more times. Bye-bye, Tower Knight. Okay, well that's World 1-2 done. So basically we need to be working on getting the Rapier to +3 and maybe the Scimitar to +8. I will confirm now that indeed the Scimitar is a weapon that we can infuse with the hero's Demon Soul to create the large Sword of Searching. Go to a list of weapons. Then Asian swords. So, +8 Scimitar will work. So we'll do that. Is there anything else that I want to do here? I think that's about it. I don't think there's really more that I want to do at the moment. Because I need to work on going through World 5, and then I also need to work on going through World 2. Because World 2 is where I'm going to get all the sharpstone that I need to get started with all of these upgrades, and I just don't want to get started with World 2 right now. It's a little bit long, and I think I'd prefer to end it now. But anyway, I thank you all for watching. This has been the Demon Souls livestream. This is the first part of my Windmill Rapier build, which is a rather colourful and creative name for a build. And this is Windmill-chan, who is going to be carrying out the Windmill build at a high level of effectiveness, hopefully, by the time we get things up and running properly with the windmill action. But anyway, I thank you all for watching once again. Hello to people viewing me on Twitch, and I will now say goodbye. I will probably be streaming either tomorrow or the day after, but I'm not going to make any promises. That's just a suggestion. But anyway, I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.